You're like a Jill of all trades. I have to read this. You've been a model, a DJ, a writer, now an actress.
I've been an actress since I was yay big.
How do you do all of those things?
I think it's a form of expression. I think if you're an artistic person, if you're a creative person, you want to express yourself. And I just express myself. I've danced. I've represented the country in dance. I've really in karate, for that matter. Just everything that I can do. I don't want to die with my music still in me. Yeah. So everything that I can do. I was once told by somebody really important to me that people wouldn't trust you because you weren't sticking to one specific focused thing and doing that. And then I think it was Kierkegaard who said, when you label me, you negate me. Like, why do we have to fit into these, neat little boxes? I don't want to fit into a neat little box. I want to express myself in every single way that I'm allowed or that is opened up to me. So I've actually moved into writing. So acting, I started out as a comic. Not very funny. That didn't go well.
Really?
Anyway.
A lot of pee in your pants, Joe.
Wow, this is... Okay, I'm going to have to change focus. But yeah, I did that, and leave it to Lo, Fenta, and the guys. They've, good for them. So I then, after acting, I went to the art school, I studied drama, I did all of that, and I went into acting, and I've been acting for 20 years, presenting, whatever comes from that. You have to be a Jill of all trades if you're going to make it in this industry, in South Africa in particular. You have to be a Jill of all trades, do everything. Yeah. But as far as writing is concerned, I've been writing my whole life. I just haven't accessed it on a professional level. Right. And so I wrote my autobiography first, because I thought that was kind of easy. I knew the girl, knew the story really well.
It's a good place to start.
Yeah, I was like, know the plot points. Okay, that's really easy. Now let's write it. So I did that, and then it took me about 4.5, 5 months to write my first novel, and that's really exciting. That's coming out in May.
We're very excited about it.
I'm super excited about it, and it's at this point, it looks like it's doing pretty well overseas.
That's amazing.
So that's really
You're
cool.
Becoming an international superstar.
Please let that happen. Not for me, but for everything. For it's such a cool thing to come from a little space and to realize that we are part of a global network. Yeah. So this book.
It's called An Appetite for Peace.
That's my autobiography.
Oh, that's your autobiography.
I know it's a little weird. People thought, is that a cooking book? I'm like,
I just like peas.
Anyway, I don't like peas. That's the whole point.
That's the whole thing about the autobiography.
It is.
Now, what's this novel?
The novel is called When the Bell Breaks.
Okay.
As in the cradle.
Yeah.
And it's a serious book. And it's a page turner. It ends up in mystery, and you end up, kind of just pacing your way through it. And it's been sold at this point in Spanish, which is very cool, around the world, so that's very cool. And then I'm waiting to hear on a couple of other things, which, fingers crossed by the time this happens, there'll be other news. But it launches here in South Africa next month in May.
That's great. Well, congratulations. You really are an inspiration.
Yay.
Now, we want to know, has motherhood changed the way you approach your career?
What's so incredible about motherhood, it's the hardest journey and the toughest journey you'll ever have in your entire existence, for me anyway. And the most rewarding thing you'll ever do with your life. So for me, the most important thing with my life is to raise a good boy, to raise a good man into the world. And if I get that right, then everything else is secondary. Everything else is like, wow, that was very cool. But if I get that right, that's my journey. It's tough. It's very tough. I'm a single mom. So, balancing, juggling becomes kind of interesting. When I was shooting things like when I shot Scheme a while back, I had him with me. And then it was like asking the makeup artist if they could take their shift and hold the baby. And,
Somebody hold the baby.
Yeah, it's like, I got to just go and, wield the gun and do, just...
They should just write him in. So you can have like a baby in one hand and a gun in the other.
Would help a lot. But now he's 5 and, it's very cute because we walked out of the movies. I went to take him to a movie and there was my big poster, my face for confetti sitting outside the film, and he's like, would you...
Mommy?
And I'm like, it's like, your face famous. I'm like, what does famous mean? And he's like, a lot of people know you. And I went, well, they know me from there, I guess, you know. It's really cute. But he's adorable, and that's the most important thing. But as for so that's why I think the balance of writing has come through. I think that's where my career change has had to kind of shift, so that I get to spend more time with my child. And then when he's at school, I write, and then collect him and spend time with him, and then in the evening put him down and write. So yeah, you have to be pretty driven and very dedicated to ensure that you kind of get the balance. And I don't always get it right. Yeah. Maybe not even 50% of the time, but I try really hard.
Well, you get enough right. Trust me about that.
Yeah. So yeah, and then I've written a second novel as well. So that should be coming out end of the year, I'm hoping. And I'm on my third. Jeez. So I'm doing that. You know, that's the next step.